Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another What If gameplay video. This time, we are going to be testing Larry on the left playing Super Shenron and myself on the right playing full power Android Cell Chain. Now, you did hear that right. This is the Cell Chain deck with 4 of the 3-drop cell. So this is a full power thing. This is another What If scenario that's been going around in the community. You know, what if the Cell Chain was at full power? How would that impact Super Shenron? Would it be able to check the deck? Would it put the deck out of relevancy? Just different things like that. Now, I will open with, there are a lot of variables to this matchup. One of which, you know, the leader could be a number of different leaders that might be better for this deck in this specific matchup. It could be Super 17, it could be a mirror leader, I'm not quite sure. But this is just what, this is the Cell Chain deck that I had played before Cell Chain got hit. This is basically how Cell Chain kind of left off right before it got hit. This was basically the standard build before that. Maybe this build could be a little more optimized. I played a few games, we played this matchup a few games, like 5 games or so. And one thing I did immediately notice was that I wish I had more Self-Awaken in the deck, because luckily Larry doesn't own Victory Strike, but if he did own Victory Strike and I wasn't able to Self-Awaken at all, like you'll see in this gameplay that it was a bit of a struggle for me to Self-Awaken, that Victory Strike would have easily just been, it would have just sealed the deal right there, pretty much. So more Self-Awaken in this deck would be very helpful. I'd probably cut the free kill and blocker that a lot of people played during Storm format. But yeah, this is basically my Android build before Cell Chain got hit. So you will notice like a lot of cards that are anti-Storm, and they're not necessarily bad this format. You know, they do help against like the Storm variant of Super Shenron, but not so much against the Height variant, right? So it's kind of like building your deck for the format. You got to be able to combat a bunch of different decks. So with that being said, Larry's on his first turn here. He's just going to drop the Crisis Crusher. Not really sure what to expect in a modern day Cell Chain deck, right? So turn 1 Crisis Crusher, can't really go wrong. We're just going to try and plug him with cards here. Yeah, the objective here is to give Larry as many cards off his life as possible and then Cell Chain him on turn 3. But he does combo out of that attack with the Bulma. He does know how to play around the Cell Chain. So that was definitely not what I wanted to see. I definitely wanted him to take a damage there, but Larry does kind of know what he's doing. So we've got 2 Dragon Balls coming out of the deck, one being the Super Dragon Ball. Now, me being the Cell Chain player, I do like to see that he has a Super Dragon Ball, because it means that he's going to really just pump his hand up with cards, which is really cool. For me to see, at least, for when I Cell Chain him, it's just more negs he's taking. So he's going to go for Super Dragon Ball there, draw 4, going to have to get rid of 2. Now you'll notice Larry's playing a very interesting card. He is playing the Android 16 Revenge Blocker. Larry doesn't actually play negates in his Super Shenron build, because his theory is if I'm going to get heighted anyway, might as well just not play negates, might as well play cards I can combo with, which like I do agree with to an extent. Yeah, and when you play Super Dragon Ball, sometimes you just have so much combo power in your hand that you don't necessarily need to negate the opponent's swings in the mirror match. Kind of sucks for Larry that he did just mill 2 Child's Wish, though. That was kind of unfortunate, but he does have the radar in hand to get them back very easily. So he's going to go Personal Ambition, draw 1 on tap 1. Nice thing he doesn't have to worry about are any type of like Borgoses or anything like that, but he does have Crisis Crusher anyway, so that doesn't really matter too much. So he is going to grab Child's Wish here. I don't believe he uses Free Leader Wish yet, so that's probably coming very soon. Oh, maybe he already did, and I just missed it. Oh, I think he didn't have a Bulma in the grave. I think that's what happened. So I'm going to summon the Deadly Defender here. And now this is weird. I do pass turn immediately. So this is my logic behind this. This might have been the incorrect play. I'm not 100% sure. But he has such a huge hand that anything I swing him with is just going to get out comboed. And then my Cell Chain is going to be less valuable, right? So I wanted to use the 2 energy. I wanted to get the Deadly Defender on board, because it is going to be important later on in the game. And I know that his deck can't really answer Barrier. But I didn't want to attack with it, because I do want him to basically start giving me cards off my life. Anytime he swings, I want it to be on my life so I can start awakening, because we haven't drawn any Self-Awakeners. I believe in the deck currently I'm playing 5 Self-Awakeners. I would definitely bump it up to about 7 or 8 probably. Definitely play 4 of the 1-drop Frieza, the green one, and then maybe some of the Gohan crit attackers, and maybe some other Self-Awakening options. But yeah, just 5 alone is not quite doing the job. So he's going to attack with a Bulma, combo 5k. I'm going to take the damage. I'm praying that he swings at me one more time, because I just want to get to that awakened state. But he's going to mill 2 on tap 2. He's going to go for a Successor Search. Pull the Bardock out of his deck. Count up the drop area, seeing how close he is to resolving his leader ulti. he does have the grandpa here, so he kind of has the option. Do I want to go into a self-awakening play? Do I want to just keep my life high for Cell Chain? If I was Larry, I would just keep my life high. Just swap right away into the path. Debating on what he wants to do here. Get aggressive, get passive. Checking his drop area, seeing what he can bring back. Bringing out the grandpa. So it looks like Larry's just going to bring out the grandpa just for the free blocker. Or sorry, for the one drop blocker, I guess. That can eat up the Deadly Defender swing, of course. Now, and you'll notice Larry decided to stall me at 7, so this is definitely an old school Dragon Ball kind of tactic. If you guys are playing, you know, back from like set 2, set 3 days, definitely the stall tactic is a lot more viable back then. And yeah, he's just starving me of cards. You know, I'm playing a strategy that wants to basically take all his cards away. Now he's starving me of cards, right? So I attack the leader there with the Deadly Defender. He's gonna just combo out of it. And now we're just gonna go for Cell Chain because he still does have like probably a 9-8 card hand at this point. So it does seem pretty worth here. I'm going to get rid of the blocker so he can't just eat up an attack with it. I'm going to draw a card. So yeah, drop a comment below, guys, if you guys still play the Cell Chain deck, if you guys still play with a 3-drop Cell at 1. Let me know how you guys do with it. I'm definitely interested to hear because I really haven't touched this deck since it got limited. I do think that this deck can be very good in a slower format. Yeah, so I do take back the Android 18 there. I do take back the Union Absorb. I'm just going to go try and attack base. And we're just playtesting here, so a couple takebacks here and there are fine. This is not necessarily for competitive play, obviously, because we are just trying to see what would happen between these two decks if the most optimal plays happen. So I pretty much want to fuel his hand with more cards. I know he plays the Bulma Super combo, so I know he can't necessarily combo out of it very easily. But he is going to drop 2 more cards probably to combo out of it. So he's going to get Cell Chain anyway, right? So you might as well just lose those cards. Makes perfect sense. So yeah, now I'm going to go into the 7-drop Cell. Yeah, this might have been a slight misplay on my part, attacking with the Deadly Defender, because now again he doesn't have to necessarily give me cards off my life to attack, right? To attack and do his combos, put things to drop area. But we are going to put him in a bit of an awkward situation because he is going to be at a very low hand size. So here's the big play, guys. This is what people always want to see: the 7-drop Cell answer Super Shenron. We're going to find out. I've dropped him 3 cards in hand. I got a Deadly Defender on board, but I'm not awakened yet, so Deadly Defender is still a small battle card. And Larry's still got 6 life to eat through to gain back cards. So, not gonna lie, and I've only got like 4 or 5 cards in my hand. So, the situation is not looking super swell for me, I will say. Larry does have the height in his hand, which is definitely what he wants to see. Larry's probably going to use that Child's Wish first just to summon a Bulma. If he even has one drop, I'm not 100% sure. I'm assuming he does. Yeah, there we go. Interesting. It looks like he's debating on bringing out the Source of Power here, actually, instead of the Bulma. Larry's seriously contemplating what he wants to do here. The Source of Power is a very interesting play. It lets him get back cards off his life, and he can just always skip turn and go into height next turn. So the Source is actually going to go into the Deadly Defender here, and I'm pretty helpless to stop it, to be honest. It's 20k hitting my 15k. I don't have any super combos in my hand. I don't have access to them either because my leader's at 7 life, and my Shocking Death Ball is not live yet. So he's going to go 25 at the Deadly Defender. That I have to let it die. That's why I mean that might have been a slight misplay there. It might have been a big misplay, to be honest. But he is going to be going into his height turn no matter what. I know once he gets the 4 energy, he's going into height. So I think what would really benefit in this matchup is more Self-Awaken. Maybe if I did have more Self-Awaken in the deck, it would make a little bit more of a difference. Maybe I'll record some future gameplay between these two decks with the build a little bit altered with some more Self-Awaken. I actually do think that would make a difference. So he's going to go on a big Source Power swing here on the Cell. So he's going to clear my threat, but he is going to give me access to Sparky's Shocking Death Ball, which is slightly helpful for me. And I do have a Self-Awakener in hand, although this seems like the turn he would try to skip and kill me. drop the dependable here, maybe gear up for the next turn. And after that, he's actually going to pass. He's not going to skip turn yet. He wants to just, I guess, see what happens on the following turn. Maybe he doesn't feel prepped to go into that next turn yet. Maybe he's not really afraid of what my deck can do. Very interesting for sure. I choose not to charge because I do want to keep all those negates in my hand. I don't want to necessarily charge at 17, even though maybe I should have. Leader's going to go in at the source of power, draw a new card. Finally, thank goodness I'm getting cards to my hand now. I'm going to combo with a Frieza because he has the Crisis Crusher anyway, so the Frieza can't attack, nor can it stick on the board next turn. He's going to give up his Crisis to save the source of power. Makes perfect sense. Now this is another risky play I make. I overroll my drop, which is going to remove my access to Shocking Death Ball. I'm going to force him to ditch a card, and we're going to go Toa into the source of power. I should have done that before anything else. I should have dropped the Toa before swinging with my leader anyway, so the plus 5k buff would have been valid. But I wasn't necessarily sure I wanted to commit to the Toa play, and I committed to it too late. And committing to it too late kind of messed up the order of my plays. And yeah, pre-claimer guys, I am by no means the best Cell Chain player. I never really tested the deck extensively. I did play it here and there just to kind of get a feel for it, feel its weaknesses out, things like that. But I am by no means the most optimal Cell Chain player, nor do I have the most optimized build. So just a little bit of a pre-claimer, or disclaimer, I guess you can say. But yeah, so Larry's gonna go in here, opting not to charge. He doesn't really need to. 4 energy is all you really need in the height build, at least on your turn before your skip turn. Yeah, although I did just kind of crap on myself in that last couple minutes there. I do know what I'm doing in the game, so I think like I'm piloting the deck decently. Again, a few misplays that I did mention that I made, but yeah, I think I'll get more gameplay with these two decks in the future because this is a very interesting matchup just for me playing it. Here I'm going to combo the 7-drop Cell because I know he's going to go into height, so I want to make use of that card in my hand before I get tapped out anyway, right? Start filling up the drop area, so potentially I can activate Shocking Death Ball with Sparking. Yeah, he's just gonna fully tap out here for the height play. Tap me out. He does have Bad Ring in his hand, which sucks for my hand of 2 negates. So first height, going into the leader. Pretty helpless to stop it. Yeah, here I'm thinking about just comboing my hand just to be able to activate the Shocking Death Ball, but we're not going to do it. I do rip into a 10k, that's kind of dead, that sucks, but I do have this super combo to make him ditch a card. So with that, we'll combo out of it. But now he's just going to go basically to a second turn, and the Source Power here is going to be a little unfortunate. I use the negate, rip into another negate, and at this point there's really not much I can do, so I just scoop it up. Yeah, this is a very interesting matchup. We did play this matchup quite a few times, and I could have got a better game on video, but I guess I didn't say this in the beginning. My phone died mid-recording of a couple other games, so that was kind of unfortunate. This was the game I had to go off of for right now, and while it wasn't the most perfect representation of Cell Chain, I do think that the matchup is very, very difficult for Cell for a few reasons, one of which they just go wide, which their numbers pretty much all match your Deadly Defender until you're at 4 life. And the way that the Super Shenron deck can play, especially if it's the most optimized build with Victory Strike, they'll stall you out forever. They won't give you a single card off your life. They won't ever attack you. And in this current build of androids, that was a problem because like I said, I do wish I had that Self-Awaken now. I could have played the Mirror Leader. I could play the Super 17 leader that helps you mill and get Sparking available. There are a lot of different variations to this leader, and maybe next time I'll come with a different leader for Cell Chain just to see how that works. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about the matchup down in the comments below. How do you think Cell Chain normally will fare against Super Shenron? What kind of optimized builds do you think will work out there? I can try them in the future if you guys let me know. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.